Workers' rights, protections, worker voice are all critical, vital parts of building an inclusive economy. They're actually foundational to how a solid economy functions and operates both for workers and for businesses. And since work is such a big part of our lives, we talk about it all day long, we spend all this time at work. Worker rights are also a large part of us, how our society works.
Our labor laws set the basic rules and minimum standards for work, but they're more than laws. They're a reflection of our values, of who we are, who we want to be, and of how we value work and working people. The Aspen Institute's Economic Opportunities Program hosted a series of conversations to explore the major pieces of legislation that have influenced the quality of work in the United States. These laws made the workplace safer and improved pay and opportunity for many workers, but they weren't perfect. Women and people of color were often excluded from the benefits and protections these laws afforded, and many workers still live with the effects of that discrimination today. This video highlights key moments in the series and underscores the work needed to build a world in which all workers are treated equitably, can achieve a dignified standard of living through work, and have equal opportunity for growth and greater success.
It's not bankers, right? It's not Wall Street. It's not corporations and global CEOs that are essential. It is workers that are essential. It is the folks on the ground that are making your food, that are caring for you in our hospitals, right? That are brewing your coffee, that are teaching your kids.
The issue of dignity and respect right now is profound, and you can't put a dollar amount on it.
Workers' organizing is democracy in action. It's the exercise of the fundamental right to free choice to combine your power and advocate together. And it's a human right, not limited by where you live or where you work.
We all are concerned about the future of democracy in this country. Most adults spend most of their day at the workplace. And so we're also concerned about worker democracy.
Workers should have the power to influence the decisions that affect their lives, in their workplace, in the economy, and in society overall.
Opportunity is quite segregated in this country, and our labor law is really key in enshrining that and perpetuating that segregation. We know that the blacker an occupation is or becomes, the lower the wages, and the more female-dominated an occupation is, the more undervalued that work is.
The law is hard to enforce, and so we can't wait for the law to catch up and bring justice. We have to create it for ourselves, and that fight for justice includes an acknowledgement that Black worker issues impact all workers.
We all have power, even if we're just consumers or clients, to try to get to that aspiration of a workplace that's free not just of the discrimination specifically proscribed in Title VII, but aspiring to a workplace that's free of all irrational discrimination whatsoever on whatever basis.
These systemic barriers to equity have been in existence for centuries, and it cannot be undone in a few months or in a few years. We have to be on this path. That's why we refer to it as a journey, as opposed to an end state goal.
We have gig worker companies that are basically arguing that they're not subject to minimum wage protection or anti-discrimination protection, workers' compensation, unemployment benefit.
Now, it's always been the case that powerful interests seek to weaken workplace protections. Their ability to do so ebbs and flows, but that has been a constant.
In the farm worker movement, we like to say the laws in the books are not the laws in the fields. There are laws that exist to protect workers, but there is no way to enforce them.
COVID exposed the workplace environmental justice issues that have been present since the founding of the Republic, but could not be more clear today.
Workers need to be part of the solution process. They need to be part of the implementation. They need to be able to freely speak up about any violation on their rights.
And we kind of live by this notion of all of our work counts for nothing if our people cannot live on the wages we pay them. If we're lifting up the lowest wage workers, if we're taking care of them, any policy that does that is good policy. Everything else will be figured out along the way.
The number one argument we get into with respect to safety is stuff happens. Work is dangerous. You know, you're going to do this kind of work, you know, people are going to get hurt. No, they're not. They don't have to be.
You know, people are organizing here because this is our last chance to really have a voice and power and save, you know, what this job should be and what this company should be.
We have to do everything within our power to enforce the existing labor laws and the protections that exist and make sure that they include protections for everyone, including domestic workers and all forms of excluded workers. And we have to recognize that these laws are no longer sufficient. We don't want to just be protected by 1930s labor laws. We actually want protections that reflect today's economy, work environment, and result in good jobs for the 21st century.